Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come once again for my top 10 movies of the year. And there were a lot of good movies this year, but I have not seen all of them. I haven't seen The Disaster Artist. I wanted to see Murder on the Orient Express, but I just never got the chance. But of the movies I saw this year and reviewed for you here on my YouTube channel, these are my top 10 favorites. And yeah, these are just my opinions here. If you don't agree with my list, that's fine with me. Just don't be a dick about it, alright? Alright, so let's get started with number 10 on my top 10 favorite movies of the year list, Star Wars The Last Jedi. And this was actually kind of a toss-up between this and Thor Ragnarok, but there are elements in Thor Ragnarok that I actually really hate, and there's nothing in Star Wars The Last Jedi I really hate. But yeah, I do love the bold risks that this movie takes in terms of story development and of course awesome visual effects. That one awesome visual effects scene in this movie that we all remember has got to be one of my favorite visual effects scenes I've seen in a long time. And I just love what all the characters have to go through in this movie. Like I said, it's a real nail biter. Number 9 on my list, Power Rangers. And this movie really surprised me. Like I said, I know it got mixed reviews, but I enjoyed the hell out of it. Dean Israelite, the director, does a really good job at making high school not feel like high school bullshit like Twilight or something. These 5 teenagers actually feel like real people discovering their power, discovering who they are. The dialogue is so real, and of course the action at the end is just all sorts of Power Rangers badassness. Great payoff. It's pretty much what I wanted 2014's Godzilla to be. Number 8, a lot of people's favorite superhero movie of this year, Wonder Woman. This movie was all sorts of badass because Gal Gadot crushes it and she is completely awesome. The action was great. That No Man's Land scene is one of the best action scenes of the year for me. The dialogue back and forth between her and Steve Trevor was just downright hilarious. Chris Pine was really good in this movie, as well as the DC lore we get with Themyscira and the gods and all that. I like how this movie sets up certain DC lore that we will hopefully explore later in the DC Extended Universe. And yes, this movie is in fact getting a sequel in 2019, so we have that to look forward to. Number 7 on my list is War for the Planet of the Apes, which I figured would just be an amazing movie. Honestly, come on. We have a solid prequel reboot trilogy of a classic film series. The first 2 movies in it were awesome, and you figured that they were going in a really good direction. Why would they mess up at the 3rd one? And I'm really glad they didn't. Caesar gets put through the biggest trial of his entire life. Woody Harrelson blew me away as the ruthless colonel, and the unexpected directions that this movie gets to by the end are what make you go, yeah, this is probably one of the best movie trilogies ever, probably at this point. Nice job, War for the Planet of the Apes. Coming in at number 6 is Coco. This was Pixar's heavy hitter this year. I love it. Pixar was like, yeah, we're gonna get you really into the world and the characters with the music, and by the end of this movie, we'll have you in tears. I do not hide the fact that I cried at the end of this movie when I saw it for the first time. I've seen it again since then, because it's just a real heart-wrencher. Pixar just knows how to do it. Number 5, Blade Runner 2049. I still haven't made it all the way through the original Blade Runner, so I don't consider myself a fan of the whole world that Ridley Scott created back in the 80s. But the story this movie told was so thoroughly intriguing. Ryan Gosling was amazing in this movie. I really cared about his character and his journey of self-discovery, finding out who he is, what his purpose is, where he fits into this whole story with Deckard, Harrison Ford. And of course, the music was fantastic. The visual effects were amazing. A bit long, yeah, but to me, that ain't no bad thing. In fact, I want to see more movies like this, Hollywood. Coming in at number 4 is a lot of other people's favorite superhero movie of the year, including my own, Logan. Logan is a masterpiece. Hugh Jackman gives his best performance as Wolverine, as a great final send-off to playing that character after 17 years. His chemistry with Daphne Keane as X-23 is on point. Patrick Stewart was amazing as his last romp playing Charles Xavier. The action was bloody and brutal and awesome, and I really just don't want to see Wolverine recast for a good long while. Disney, hold out on that, please. Alright, number 3, I have watched this movie a gazillion and a half times, and I plan to watch it a lot more times. It. And actually, now that it's been out for a few months, I think it's safe to assume you've seen it, so I'm gonna call it what it's really called, It Chapter 1. And this movie really surprised me by being the very first and probably only horror movie I'll ever see on the big screen, you know, aside from its sequel, Chapter 2, which is coming out in 2 years, September 2019. Can't wait! But the reason I love this movie so much is because Bill Skarsgård gives an amazing, horrific performance as It. I love the chemistry between these 7 kids, this losers club that has to now deal with this clown terrorizing their small town of Derry, Maine. Their acting was fantastic. The movie was just long enough, it had a good runtime, and it has my favorite musical score of the year, Benjamin Wallfisch. Holy shit, that guy can write music. I am always gonna love this movie, and I really hope its sequel is as good. Alright, coming in at number 2 is Alien Covenant. And there's a big reason for this. Here it is. When I was getting ready for this movie, I was getting really into Prometheus. I watched it a lot, because Prometheus really just intrigued the hell out of me. I was so interested in not just the characters, but the lore. This science fiction alien mystery. Where does humanity come from? Is it out there in the stars somewhere? Let's go explore. Maybe see where we come from and have some awesome horror along with it. And Alien Covenant gave me everything I wanted it to as a continuation from Prometheus. Michael Fassbender gave one of my favorite performances of the year. And it's funny, I just saw Lawrence of Arabia for the first time last night. And it's cool because his character David was watching Lawrence of Arabia in the beginning of Prometheus. And I could tell that Michael Fassbender got a lot of inspiration from Peter O'Toole as Lawrence in Lawrence of Arabia. It's really cool to see new movies taking inspiration from old classics. But yeah, I really love Alien Covenant because of Michael Fassbender and the lore that is expanded on from Prometheus. I thought it was just genius. Nice job, Ridley Scott. Okay, here we are, friends. Number 1, my favorite movie of the year. And I still can't believe I was gonna pass this movie right up. It's Baby Driver! I am this movie, and this movie is me. Well, I'm not a criminal, but in every other way. I related to Ansel Elgort's character, Baby, on a personal level, because I'm always listening to music all the fucking time. I love all the supporting characters in this movie. May Kevin Spacey's career rest in pieces. Lily James is great, Jamie Foxx is great, John Hamm is great. This movie has that Edgar Wright uniqueness that you would expect from him at this point, and it works again to give you some solid action with some great music synced up to it. Just, this movie to me was the funnest movie of the year, and that's why I love movies, because they're fun. So there it is, guys. Those are my top 10 favorite movies of 2017. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm really looking forward to the movies of next year. Next year has some huge movies that I'm just super pumped for. It's gonna be crazy! And I want to thank you all for helping me reach 1,000 subscribers this year. That was really a landmark for me. I really appreciate all of you who take time out of your day to watch me rant about movies. My New Year's resolution is to make more spoiler talks and trailer talks, because I really just want to talk about more stuff. I want to make more videos about stuff I want to talk about. That makes sense, right? I just really regret not doing a spoiler talk for Kong Skull Island, if I'm being completely honest. So more videos in 2018. It's my New Year's resolution. So what are your top 10 favorite movies of 2017? Whatever they are, go ahead and leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe.